sit down, cozy up, grab your favorite comfort drink.
You're now listening to the Sippin' Pretty podcast. We kept it simple today with Dutch Bros. We went for our little comfort drinks. I got my fall favorite, the caramel pumpkin brulee breve. What'd you get?
I got a Christmas morning chai with whipped cream and extra cinnamon sprinkles.
And they gave her extra too.
Yeah. I mean, even the drink itself changed to like a creamy brown nude color. Yeah,
Love
instead of just white. Yeah, we need our comfort drinks for this episode because
we're a little bit riled up, if I do say so myself. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I told Caro before we started recording, I was like, basically, I just want to give credit where credit is due. Because I feel like the response that we got on one of our TikToks that kind of, it didn't take off, but it definitely reached the wrong audience.
the wrong side of TikTok.
Yeah, it was on the wrong side. We're here for the girlies, for the girls, for the stay-at-home moms,
For the women empowerment.
yeah, for the stay-at-home wives, for the
Even the working moms.
working moms, the single moms. That's what I was gonna say. We're just here for the
Literally just girlhood.
yeah,
Girlhood itself.
and it definitely did not quite reach the audience that we were hoping it would. And we're here to talk about it because
we're pissed. We're very much in defense mode.
Yeah.
Like you said.
very much so. So let's start with where this all started. Mind you, the TikTok that we're referring to is a 50-second clip.
Yeah.
And it is, if you watch the actual episode, it is our response to someone sending in their
suggestion.
like
Another
topic suggestion.
Yeah.
And it was very specific to this person's
Lifestyle.
specific situation. Their specific lifestyle. Take a shot every time I say specific. But I just want to reiterate that because it's like, it is so like I don't know, specifically what we were talking about in the TikTok is very like situational. And it's the way the perspective that you have on it is different based on your lifestyle.
You know what? Insert TikTok here. If he's actively telling you like you can only pay the bills with what's in the account, nothing more.
Yeah.
Then that is an issue because you're also you're human, you're a woman, you have needs. Before you got married to this man, you were getting your hair done, you were getting your nails done. The one thing my mom told me, or before I got with Alex, was you better make sure he's paying for your nails. You better make sure he's paying for your hair. You better make sure he's getting you the clothes you want. And even though we live with my mom, sometimes I'll feel guilty, like, oh, like we live here, and we don't even like pay you rent. She'll be like, Mija, but I don't have to worry about you because he's taking care of you guys. He buys the diapers, he buys the wipes, he buys the girls' clothes, he buys you clothes, he buys you this and that, etc. And that's the thing. Are you being taken care of? And not just in the sense of what you need, but what you want. So here we're speaking on, so this suggestion, it was asking for our opinion and how this specific person, she never got a go get your nails done, go get your hair done, go do this for yourself from her partner, even though she was the one handling the financial means.
So she wasn't earning income herself. But did she say that she was stay-at-home mom with the kids, or did she say yes? So she stays home with the kids. She manages all the money in the account. Her husband is the provider, so he's the one, bringing in the paychecks every day. But I don't know if he specifically tells her that what's in the account is only for bills, or if that's just what she asked us, like, would we be okay? That's the way the question was formed. Would we be okay if we were in that situation and whatever was in the account was only for bills and nothing more? And she said too, it wasn't even just like the things that she personally wants, but it's like date nights and things like that.
Another thing is, because in the video, obviously it's just a 50-second clip, and compared to the whole episode, if you watch the episode, then you know what we're talking about.
There's context.
Yeah, there's context to it. But we hit on multiple different points. One of them being, is he already working his butt off at work, right? He's doing the best he can, and there's still no money extra for you guys to do these things, then that's unfair to him. And then I also said, but if there's obviously money that's just sitting there and your bills are paid, you have groceries, then you should ask him, tell him, hey, like, can I just grab the money? Or bring it up to him, hey, look, you know, obviously touching that point, because if there is money just sitting there, then you rightfully so should be able to touch that money.
Right. And
another thing, and we'll touch on this, we're just trying to like explain to you guys, like we gave different points.
Story,
yes,
and like the like, what's the word?
Context.
Give the context to the situation before we dive into like what was said and how we like addressed it.
And that is why we touch on all these points in that specific episode, because we didn't get much context. Again, there's so many things, so many gaps that need to be filled, that we can fully just stick to one opinion and go with that on a situation that we have just the tip of the iceberg. Right. So again, and we'll show you guys, but in this video, we actually got a comment saying that, can I just read it?
Yeah.
The comment?
Yeah. One point I do want to make while she's bringing that up is, and this kind of goes along with the comment that you're like reading too, but if you watched the full episode, she did, because Gato is the one that's talking in it. So, yes, it's like a joint podcast, but I feel like they were basically coming for your point of view, right? Because like what you were saying. Mind you, I 100% like agree with everything that she said, because I have the context to it and I was here for the whole conversation, not just a 50-second clip of it. But you did make it a point to say that whatever like treating yourself or quote unquote pampering yourself looks like for your specific situation, whatever is reasonable for you. So obviously if you only have a like certain amount in the account to pay the bills and then have $200 left over or whatever, don't go and get your hair done for $180. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if you go and get yourself a coffee that day or go and eat out or whatever, then that like $10 coffee or that $10 meal shouldn't be that big of a deal. You know?
I can't find the comment. I don't think I screenshotted that one. Oh, you have a screenshot. You have the screenshots.
If y'all got it like that, then you got it like that. But if you aren't well off, be ready to pay for your own things. If you don't see enough money coming in, help your man instead of riding him to work harder.
That pissed me off because, like I said, that was one of the points that I touched on in the other video, where I literally said, if you see your partner's already doing his best, then that's unfair to him. And I replied to him where I was like, maybe if you watch the full clip, you would see that we actually vouch for the man as well.
Right.
We're all about, just as much as women empowerment, we're also about like
evening the playing field, seeing all the sides to the story. It's not just like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, like I should be like. There was another comment that I commented back to about like being pampered or whatever. And
we have just as much respect for men as we do for women. And dude, are you kidding me? Even men who allow their wives to be stay-at-home wives, it's not easy taking on the full load of being the sole provider. So shout out to men who, like, we're again giving credit where it's due, right? But then also, oh my gosh, and there's so much, it's almost like overwhelming.
There's so much trying to like
where at this point it's like, regardless of how understanding you are to everyone, someone's always gonna have something negative to say. Right. But again, giving credit where it's due, because it's not just that while the man may be the sole provider, who's watching the kids? Who's doing his laundry? Who's doing the dishes? Who is making the house a home, right? So, and Desi said this in the other episode where it was, take that as your payment, getting your nails done, getting a cup of coffee, just treating yourself, because at the end of the day, you are the glue that also holds the family together.
Because while like your man is the provider, his like job at the end of the day is to go to work, do what he's got to do at work, clock out, come home, and the kids, like you said, the kids are taken care of. A lot of the time dinner is made for him. He has
Clean clothes.
his laundry, his clean laundry. I told you when I was talking, because we were so heated, we were sending back and forth like voice messages and whatever. I was like, he's lucky that he doesn't have like shit stained fucking chones at the end of the day. Like, he has clean underwear, he has clean clothes, like he has everything ready for him. So like, his job is to go to work, you clock in, clock out, come home. He gets paid at the end of the day. What is it that we're doing? Because we're not just sitting on our ass all day, if that's what you think it is.
Yeah, dinner is ready. He doesn't have to think about what he's gonna have to make for dinner still, and we'll touch on this again, even some moms who work have to still come home, prep dinner, have dinner served for the kids, for the husband, still go and throw in a load of laundry. So it's like...
And specifically in that comment too, when he's like, if you, what did he say? I don't want to...
Where he was, be ready to pay for your own shit.
Be ready to pay for your own things. All right, well then be ready to, you go and you make the money and you go work or whatever, and at the end of the day, you come home and you do everything that's already done for you and see how much you like that.
Yeah, do your own laundry, pack your own lunch, make your own plate of dinner,
take care of the kids.
Wash your own plate after dinner. Because I think that's another thing I mentioned to you, where, guys, hold on.
I know, I felt myself getting like really aggressive.
I'm overwhelmed. And I feel like we're all over the place, but no, it's infuriating even more because this was a comment made by a man. So obviously it's kind of hard. Like, at that point, you guys, this is why you have to like pick and choose your partner for life, because if not, you will get stuck with a man like that. And again, if that's his life, and if he finds a partner that is happy with the way his values align, then good for you. But personally, because I feel like our partners are brothers.
Yeah.
They're very similar in the way they view, I guess, holding their weight like in the household. Alex comes home, and I always say, I've told you before too, I feel like I got lucky with this man. This man comes home, if dinner is made, he always says, oh, thank you, babe, whatever, hypes it up, eats dinner. He does not pick up his plate. I'll do it for him. But he also never holds me back from buying myself something. He always tells me, if you think we're going to be okay for the rest of the week, go treat yourself. If the bills are paid, go treat yourself. So in that sense, I do not care. I will pick up your clothes from the freaking ground in the bathroom. I will do the bed every morning, even on the weekend. Your dinner, your lunch is going to be made. It doesn't matter. But you know why? Because even if I don't do those things, he is still the exact same man.
Right.
If I don't wake up to pack him lunch, if I don't even make dinner the night before, if there's dirty clothes and I haven't done laundry, he will not give me shit for it. He will still... Why? You know why? Because those are extras, right? Because when you married me, you didn't marry your mom. You didn't marry
maid.
A maid, right? We're a union, and if we're gonna have children, guess what? He is already grateful that I take care of our kids.
Yep. And
right?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so again, the food, the dinner, the laundry, those are just extras, because at the end of the day, I am the one that is looking out for our children. I am raising them day and night, when he's not home, even when he's sleeping and the babies wake up. That is enough for him to feel like I am deserving of his love and him taking care of us.
When both of our boys started school, that was a conversation that came up between Billy and I. I was like, should I go back to work or not?
Yeah.
Because to myself, I was like, there's no reason that I should be sitting around all day doing nothing while both my boys are in school full time. And when we had this conversation, I remember Billy was fully supportive of whatever you want to do, babe.
Yeah.
He was like, whatever you want to do. He's like, I'm not going to tell you, like, we're good. So I'm not going to tell you, yes, go back to work. Would it be nice to have a little bit extra income? Yeah. But do we need it? No, we can make it work without it. And we're very big on communication, and we looked at like all the different outcomes of if I were to go back to working, right? Because we've tried that before. I've been a working mom before, where both of us are working full-time jobs, and coming back home and taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, it's not easy while you're working 12-hour shifts every day.
You would only get one day off a week.
Yeah, so it would vary. So my schedule would like switch. So I'd be like 2 on, 2 off, and then 3 on. And then it would flip the next week. So I would have 2 off, 2 on, 3 off. But they were 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Like go in at 5 o'clock in the morning, get off at 5:30 at night. And so when we finally made the sacrifice, because that's a big thing that I wanted to touch on, was no matter like if you are the working parent that's coming home and having to take care of your kids at the end of the day, you know, you don't have a partner, you're the single parent, both working and parenting, or you are in a relationship where you both are working, both coming home to take care of the kids, or you're in the relationship where you have your partner as a sole provider and you stay home.
Yeah.
All of those, just parenthood in general, and combining that with, you know, work-life balance or whatever, requires sacrifices.
Yeah.
It's just going to look different for everybody. So when we finally got to the position where we felt like we could sacrifice my income for me to stay home and raise my own children, which was a big thing for us, then we took that opportunity. And we did that. And did it come, like I said, with sacrifices? Yeah, I wasn't able to, you know, go shopping as much. We weren't able to splurge on eating out as much, but I was fully present with my kids, and that was what was priority for us.
So you've gotten to experience both scenarios, where being a working mom and still having to come home to take care of the family, and also being a stay-at-home mom and taking care of that same family, right? So I don't think we're just talking out of our ass, because she's experienced both.
Yeah.
You know? And you had mentioned that you felt like you were missing a crucial part in your children's development.
Exactly.
Which is why you wanted to quit your job, right?
Because those early years when they're not like in school and you're home with them all day long, I was like, you know, because my mother-in-law was the one, well, our mother-in-law was the one that was watching them. And while we are so grateful for her help, it was like, but she's raising them. She's raising my kids because we're gone so often. Like, it did like give me almost more, not like gratitude, but like the time that I did get with them felt more special. Because those days off, like we would do all these things together and whatever, because I like took in every little moment that I could get with them.
You soaked it in as much as you could.
Because I knew I was going to have to turn around and go work another 12-hour shift. And, you know, Billy's shifts are anywhere from 8 hours to 12 hours. Like it varies. And his is 6 out of 7 days of the week. So it's even more for him. But so that was the thing for us, was like neither one of us are like fully present raising like our children. Like, and we were like, if we're in the position financially to like be able to provide for our family and get the opportunity for me to stay home to raise my own children, why would we not take that? So like I said, when both of the boys ended up going back to school and we were having the conversation of whether I should go back to work or not, Billy was just like, we don't need it. Like he was fully supportive of, even with the boys being in school, I could still stay home. He was like, because think about it. You never know if the boys get sick and, you know, we need, someone needs to stay home with them. You're going to have to call into work. Or if they need to be picked up, that's another thing, picking up and dropping off for school. Like you're going to have to find a job that works with those hours. Because you're going to have to be the one doing it. If not, we're going to be in the same situation where we're having to have somebody else do it.
And can I touch on a different point right now? I'm glad you bring that up, because this, I don't know, I just feel like even some men, again, think that stay-at-home moms don't do anything all day. If you were to go to work, you would pay someone to do the exact same thing you do at home.
So why is it not considered a job when the parent is doing it? I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, so you look at all these daycare providers and you think, oh, I'm paying them to do this. That's their job. You know, you can go to a daycare and apply to be a daycare provider. And that is your job. You are making an income off of it.
Off of watching kids.
But as soon as it's the parent doing it, oh, it's not a job. It's just what you're supposed to do.
And you know what? You can say it's not a job. It's our responsibility. Yes, okay. But why shouldn't I be rewarded or, you know,
in some capacity?
Still treated like a human because another point that someone else made was a lot of moms put their lives on hold willingly, of course, right, to take care of our children.
Again,
And
sacrifices,
because again, it's worth it, you know. But here's the thing, and this is gonna be maybe word vomit, a mouthful, right? This specific guy said she better be ready to pay for her own shit. Okay, let's keep that point there. And then we talked about how, okay, then you better be ready to come home, do your laundry, pick up your plate. Because what do you mean she better be ready to pay for her own shit, and you're still gonna expect her to have your dinner ready, to have your laundry and everything else done? Why is she supposed to still take care of you if you're not willing to take care of her? Because I feel like, and even we talked about stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home girlfriends, women who literally would just date someone and they're willing to let them stay home and just embrace their femininity, right?
And that's a point that I made when I don't know if it was his comment or if it was one of the other comments, and we'll get to
those, yeah.
But where I mentioned, I was like, you need to embrace your femininity.
Yeah.
Like, why is that looked at as like a bad thing?
Yeah. Because I mean,
it's that toxic fucking like
masculinity,
machista. That's what I was gonna say.
Because again, back to the point, it's like, why is she still supposed to take care of you if you can't take care of her?
We'll be referencing a lot of, because it all comes full circle, but like giving the credit where credit is due.
Because again, as I don't know, I feel like just women in general have the ability to just be more empathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we literally love a human being without even meeting them. I feel like we are able to feel things in a deeper level than men. And it's, so while we can take care of our children, we also want to take care of our partners, right? And again,
it's that nurturing, like, in us.
That nurture in us. And I know some of you guys can say, yeah, well, nobody asked you to have children. Nobody asked you to put your life on hold. But that's the thing. We can be selfless and give our everything to everyone else, our children, our partners, our family. And it's just like,
and that is like that's like something to like praise on, right? That's something to be like, oh my gosh, like, but it's flipped somehow the other way, and it's something that's like, okay, but that's just what you're supposed to do.
If you're and it's obviously pick and choose your partner, right? Whether that's your male partner or your female partner, right? Alex, because even though he still obviously like looks after me and the girls, y me mantiene, whatever, you know, provides for us, I also am very considerate of that. And I think, well, I have to do my best to show him that I'm appreciative of what he's doing for me.
Yeah.
And I do that by making sure he has clean clothes, dinner, whatever. I already said all that. The point is, if you as a man also don't feel seen, you also can bring that up to your partner, right? Obviously, but the way he just worded it is like, you better be ready to pay for your own shit. Dude, no, like.
Well, and I think going back to like the TikTok itself that these comments were left on, she had made a point to mention in her submission to us, saying that before she got with him, she was doing all these things for herself. And then when she got with him is when all of that had to stop, because she wasn't making her own income anymore, and there was limits to what they could spend their money on. So that's why your comment was made, and that's what the video was about, where you were talking about before you got with this man, you were doing all these things for yourself. Why should that stop once you get with him?
And then now we can bring in that other comment. She goes, clearly your man ain't taking care of y'all. Before you say something, no, I don't get my nails done or hair done. But what I do have is properties, home, vehicles, playground for kids, pool, non-name brand clothes, but nice clothes and shoes for our kids. We have a business and I'm a stay-at-home mom. My mom would never give me that terrible advice your mama gave you. By the way, I'm 25. So when I said about that comment, when I mentioned the video of my mom, when I was gonna move out with Alex, I was in college. I didn't work, and my mom paid for my nails. She would pay for me to get my hair done. She would pay for my $600 hair extensions. Anything I wanted, clothes, my mom was there to give it to me. When I told my mom that I was moving out at 18 with Alex, one of the things she told me was, he better take care of you the way I take care of you, because there is no reason why you should leave here and receive anything less than what I've
She was
show
setting
you that
the
you're deserving
standard
of.
for what you deserved from a man.
Yeah, where, I mean, and dude, this was my mom, a single mom, being able to provide this for me now at this point in life. She didn't want me to get any less.
You didn't have to settle.
Yeah, and that's because that's what she meant. Like, her biggest concern was me moving out, getting a job, and dropping out of college, which it ended up happening. I got pregnant, dropped out of college, started working, whatever. But it's not terrible advice. Regardless of how my life played out after I moved out, I'm happy where I'm at.
Right.
Some people leave their homes to find better. Mm-hmm. But if some people already have it good at home, why would they go find anything less? Why not continue to pursue that and better? And that was my mom's point of view. Why are you gonna go from where you grew up, your comfort place,
you're getting all these like luxuries
to anything
for
less?
Yourself? And why would you want to settle for anything else?
Things that kind of as luxuries to me when I was 18. Why would you go and settle for anything less? Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a dad, but usually father figures are the ones that set this example.
Right.
Right? And they show you what kind of man you should be with. And if your father fails to do that for you, you're going to go and find better. Mm-hmm. You're going to go and find... So that's what she meant. But this person completely took it a different way.
I just think that a lot of these like negative comments stem from a place of like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situations. Because it's like, okay, if you have it like handed to you in a sense, or like have these luxuries, then that's seen as like, oh, you're spoiled. Like it's seen in a negative light. But then if you turn around and it's the opposite and you're like constantly struggling and like you aren't able to do all of these things for yourself, then that could be seen in a negative light too. Like it's all just like, it's all perspective and where your mindset is at when you're viewing these different situations. Yeah. And with this comment specifically, I remember reading it to Billy, and Billy was like, so why is she like so upset about what you guys said? Because when she's talking about how she has property, she has cars, she has this and that, he goes, it's materialistic things regardless.
Yeah. So why are you shitting on this?
Not only that, but it's like those are more expensive things. Yeah. Like yes, they are like it's like not equity. Is it equity?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like yes, those are things that like give you equity, but it's like, okay, if you're gonna shit on me for wanting to go and get my $10 coffee once or twice a week, or like go and get my hair done once or twice a year, but you're sitting here like flaunting about how you have cars not cheap, houses not cheap,
land, like, businesses,
and it's like good for you, you know, like we're clapping for you, like that's good for you. But why are you, just because you got it like that, why are you gonna turn around and like shit on somebody else for?
And that's one of the things I told her in one of my comments. I was like, by the way, in case you didn't know, we are a platform that uplifts women. Just because your goals or views of a successful woman aren't the same as mine doesn't give you the right to belittle them. And what I meant by that is I can be a stay-at-home mom, live in a humble home, and if getting a $10 coffee every day or twice a week fulfills me, then that is my version of happiness and fulfillment.
Right.
If you want to go and be a business owner or be a doctor or a lawyer while also handling home, girl, I'm clapping for you. But just how we can clap for those big achievements doesn't mean mine are any less just because you don't view them as achievements for you. Because this is my life. This is what makes me happy. And there are women who are straight up just born to be moms.
Right.
And that is what they know it in their heart that is what they were meant to be. And I am a firm believer that I was meant to be a stay-at-home mom and live in my femininity, which again, you can do as well if you're a lawyer and whatever. And maybe that opens a door for you in many different ways, opens multiple doors, more than the ones that even some of us will experience with just a one income household, you know? But again, does not give you the right to shit on people who are willing to... Not everybody is dealt
the same set of cards. And there's like so much more that goes into it too, because like I said, again, the word specific, every specific family, every specific partnership, every specific life, your life path is just going to look different than somebody else's. Like it's not, there's not a exact blueprint as to what every woman's we're talking about women specifically, right?
Yeah.
Every woman's life is supposed to be like, you're not, it's not gonna work out like graduating high school, going to college, starting your career, meeting the love of your life, then getting married, and then buying a house, and then having kids. Like, it's not like that for everybody.
Step-by-step thing that you have to follow as a woman.
And so I don't know why, just because there are like different variations to how people choose to live their lives, why it's like, oh, well, that's wrong. Like, not one is better than the other, or right or wrong, or...
We're all different individuals, and we all have different goals and different things that we aspire to
different struggles that you that you have to overcome in your life that play a big part in why things play out the way that they do in your life. And like, you never know what somebody else's life looks like, so why are you going to be so quick to judge? I told Caro too, what got me with these comments is that you literally took the time to see the video, say, hey, I don't like this in your mind. Then go to the comment section, type out something negative that you didn't like about it, and then press send or whatever. Leave that there. Then we see it and we respond. And we're like, hey, okay, you see it this way? Well, let me give you a little bit of like my perspective. Open up that conversation a little bit. And then it's crickets. And it's like, so you literally did all that for what? Like, just to be noticed? Like, we saw it. We acknowledged it. Is that all you wanted from that? Or like, what's the point here? Because then on that comment, under that girl's comment, we commented back. And then somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Another young lady. Commented. And this is the one specifically that got me real heated. She goes, well, if you're not contributing at all, being pampered on top of having your bills paid is crazy, LOL. I was like, girl, not contributing where? Just because I don't go and clock into a 9-to-5 and bring home a paycheck at the end of the week does not mean that I am not contributing. Because all of the reasons that we went over previously about everything that happens at home while our partner is off at work, we're taking care of the kids, we're doing the laundry, we're, like you said, basically just making a house a home on top of handling everything else, like life-wise. If you're in charge of taking care of the bills, like paying all the bills, you're basically an accountant. So, doing all of that, running all the errands, taking the kids to school, picking them up, making sure that you're fitting everything into this schedule. Like, I don't know. And I was just like, not contributing where? Because just because it's not like a job that I had to apply to and get hired on at doesn't mean that it's not still work.
And another thing with that is, it just, because I think it's
the way that people, it goes back to like that one thing that I said in one of the very first episodes where I was like, sometimes you just have to be grateful that you don't understand where people are coming from
process.
Because just because it's something that you would never do or you would never say. Because just be grateful that you don't have that level of understanding.
It really it's just like, bothers me even more that these comments just pretty much in general make it seem like being a stay-at-home mom is not something you should be
like glorifying.
Even the one that is a stay-at-home mom that commented on there saying that terrible advice, whatever. Girl, you say you don't get your nails done and you say you don't get your hair done, and I'm not shitting on you, but again, it's like, okay, but if having a car that you just drive around to places is a blessing to you, why wouldn't...
Or multiple vehicles, more than one vehicle, more than one property, a pool in the backyard, like she said, for her kids, a playground in the backyard for her kids to play. Those are still great things, but they are still materialistic luxuries that not everybody can have.
No, you know what? Fucking cancel me if you want to. That is a bare fucking minimum. What about you as a woman? What are you getting? That is the whole thing. Yes, my partner provides a roof and meals. Yeah, you motherfucking better. The fuck? Like, we have kids. If you're not doing it, I'm gonna have to go out and fucking do it.
I'm just saying multiple of them is a luxury.
No, But I mean,
yes, I see what you mean. When especially the one too that was like, on top, you want to be pampered on top of your bills being paid. And that's exactly what I said back to her too. I was like, but that's like the bare minimum. That's what he's supposed to. My bills are supposed to be paid, but I'm not supposed to want to be pampered on top of having the basic necessities. Like that term, when you have the dad of the children watch the children, and it's like, oh, he's babysitting. No, he's taking care of his own kids. And so what I was trying to get at too was like, you would praise a man staying home with their kids while their wife goes off and, you know, pursues the career of their dreams or whatever it is that they're doing. Or if he was a single dad or whatever, if the roles were switched and the dad was in the place where we are right now, it would be praised. But us doing it as the moms, it's just the expectation. And it's just nothing to glorify because it's just what we're supposed to do. So that double standard to me is just like crazy because it's like, I don't know.
Think about it. Sometimes, most often than we'd like, when a woman ends up pregnant, if the father wants to decide that they don't want to be part of that baby's life, they just up and leave. They don't have to think about it twice, right? But if a woman wants to decide not to have the baby and she wants to have an abortion, I mean, right now it's made illegal. Some women get punished for that. So they're stuck with it. And they have to raise this child. And I think that both should be held at this accountable. Equally. That is after the baby is born. So when I say that is the bare minimum for your partner to provide a roof and meals and transportation for your children, he's going to have to do that regardless whether you're in the picture as a mother or not.
So why is it any different when
you're in the picture? Helping take care of the children. I mean, raising them, doing what you're meant to do as a mother, you know?
But just because having both parents present in any capacity is something to embrace, because not a lot of, like you're mentioning, when the dad can choose to pick up and leave and you're a single mother, that's 10 times harder for you. So could you imagine, you know, again, looking at all the different perspectives. So could you imagine not having your wife there to do the things that she's doing at home while you're out working? Like,
and we were just talking about this. So how she touched on that, if the mother wasn't there, you as a man would have to find a babysitter, whether that is your mom, whether that is to pay someone, right? If you had your wife at home, she would do that for free. All you would have to do is pamper her and show her that you're grateful for what she's doing.
And pay the bills.
Which you would have to do regardless if she was there or not, because that is your job as a father. As a mother, she can also provide. She can also do the damn thing. But as soon as she clocks out, she has another job at home waiting for her right then and there to give the children a bath, prep dinner, everything. Unless you as a man, which there are very few who actually contribute at home as well, and they help out, they help pick up the weight at home. They'll take over bath time, they'll help make dinner while mom deals with bath time, because that is what you're meant to do as a parent.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we ended up opening up a little like question, we keep calling it a poll, but a little questions thing on our Instagram stories when we spoke about, or when we had mentioned that we were going to be speaking about stay-at-home mom life and kind of addressing all the negative comments and whatever in today's episode.
Wait, can I make a quick point again?
Yeah.
With that being said, I also do want to give credit to people who aren't lucky enough to have property to their name, or multiple cars for transportation, or a big piece of land to have a playground in. We're those people too. We live with my mom. We have a car that we sometimes even struggle to make payments on, but we support each other as a union, me and my partner. We, regardless of how much we're struggling, regardless if he can give me property or give me money to go shopping, I tell him, babe, thank you so much for waking up every morning to go to work and coming home and still showing up for us.
Right.
Thank you for never complaining about providing what you can for us.
Yeah.
Right? Is being just overall respectful for other people's lifestyle and grateful for your own.
Yeah.
That is what the point is. Don't shit on anyone else. If you like staying at home and you don't care about being pampered, good for you, you know? That's less things to worry about. I mean, if you like to stay at home and you want to stress about having your nails done, fuck yeah, dude, I'm stressing about mine right now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, my shit's fucked.
And don't act like it's like a rare thing either, because there are
Yeah.
plenty of people that are in the same boat. Like,
Yeah.
that's the main reason why we wanted to address this, is because that's mainly like what you are trying to like shit on in these comments is what we and our audience is like 100% based on.
Yeah.
Like that's who we are.
Yeah.
So that's why when I said that we're coming off a little bit defensive, it's because we're defending like us and what we're here for, and the
Yeah.
people that are tuning in that are here because of the relatability factor.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have to stand up for that, because that's not something that we should be like ashamed of.
Yeah.
You know, it is 100% like, we're doing the damn thing. And it
Yeah.
might not look exactly like, you know, this person's or that person's, or, you know, the millionaires that are out there that are just stay-at-home wives. They don't even have kids, and like you said, and they're being pampered and taken care of. Okay, there's different levels to it. It's in different capacity, you know, but it's what we're going through and what we're here for is still valid, and it's still real. Like, but no, I wanted to mention when I was talking about the Instagram story or whatever, and how we posted that this is what we were going to be talking about today. And I mentioned that there was a study done. I came with my sources. So in 2018, there was a study by Welch's. I don't know if Welch's was like the juice brand or what, but and they found that being a stay-at-home mom is the equivalent of working 2.5 full-time jobs. This is because the study of 2,000 American mothers showed that they worked an average of 98 hours per week, working 14-hour days with little to no free time. So could you imagine that? 98 hours per week, and you mean to tell me that I'm not contributing anything?
Yeah.
You got me fucked up.
Not only that, you mean to tell me that that's all I'm worth? Just staying home and taking care of the kids and being a fucking sex machine?
Because if I was working 98 hours literally anywhere else, I'd be making bank, so...
Yeah, so while, I mean, I know I said that some women, I know I said that you don't get to marry a woman and expect her to be like your mom and take care of you, but the thing is, she does that because she loves you. So why, if you're willing to take care of her, it's because you love her. It's because you respect her as a human being, as an individual, and you respect her femininity, her womanhood, her girlhood.
And you want her to lean into that. If you are truly supportive, like you truly have that supportive partner, they're going to want you to lean into that. Just as much as they're able to lean into their want to be a provider and their want to be, you know, a good dad, if we're talking about, you know, the men being the provider. But
some men don't want to touch into that femininity. What do I mean by that? They don't want to deal with laundry. They don't want anything to do with the kitchen. They don't want anything to do with cleaning. That's fine. I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that part of being a woman, right? Because those roles are not just meant for women, right? Any man, if a man lives alone, they should be able to do that, because you do not want to live in a fucking dirty ass place. My point is, some men will want nothing to do with that when they're married. That's fine. Then I don't want anything to do with working. Take care of me. You know, again, the big picture here is working together, respecting each other's, again, not each other's, but respecting your wife's femininity, her womanhood, who she is as an individual, and a woman respecting her partner's hard work, showing, being appreciative of his provider side, you know, of being that provider for the home. And that is what's important in a union. It's not, I'm better than you. No, it's recognizing that you both hold equal weight and providing a home and providing a safe space for the children and for you guys.
And I think the key parts of that is just both being on the same page too, though, because you have to have a man, like you said, like it all depends on what your man wants out of like the roles that you guys play. Because while Billy is like really supportive of like me staying home and, you know, doing all the things here and not having to work in the capacity of like actually earning a paycheck, you know, and being hired on somewhere. He does fully appreciate the work that I do at home, and he helps out too. He's still a really present dad.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, my only job is to go and provide and then come back home and everything else is laid out and taken care of for me. He still does laundry sometimes. He still does the dishes after I cook, you know, a nice dinner or whatever. He's still very present with his children, and he's still very I don't know, just he's very well rounded. He does all the things, but at the same time it's still important to him that I tap into that feminine side of myself and, you know, pamper myself every once in a while and stay home and make the home and the kids my priority, my job. So it's just being well-rounded in all those areas. That's really important too.
And in a union, you're not always going to be 50-50. Sometimes I think even for like with working moms, right? If you both work, you both come home tired, you both pick up at home the slack, you know, help each other out where you can. If one of you guys doesn't know what to cook for dinner, the other one can figure out and do it for everyone else, right? If tonight you're just going to have mac and cheese and mashed potatoes, that is your dinner and that is chef's kiss, you know? As long as you're showing up in any way, shape, or form. But again, just
leaning on each other, supporting each other, working as a team. It's not like you versus me. It's not
a who's doing more than the other one. No, it's just showing up for each other the way you can, as long as you're doing the best you can. Yeah. You know?
Should I read some of these responses that we got from the
I think we've gone out of our chest, like.
So we basically asked for like everybody else's, as in like our viewers, like POV, because like I mentioned, like a lot of our audience, basically our whole audience, I would say, because it's what we're geared towards, so it's what draws our audience in. A big part of it is like us being stay-at-home moms and, you know, whatever. So we asked for your guys's POV on the situation. This one says, I work harder as a stay-at-home mom 24/7 than I did at my old job that I had for 3 years. Oh, this would be a good spot to mention that I made a thread about it probably about a year ago. But this just shows that there are still kind people that will like recognize and give you the credit that you deserve. I went to go get my coffee one day, and the barista had asked like what I had going on for the day, or if I was going to work. And I was like, oh no, I don't work. I just stay home with my kids. And that's exactly how I worded it. I was like, I don't work. I just stay home with my kids. And she looked at me and she was like, girl, don't ever say you don't work. She was like, I have 3 kids of my own. And she goes, and this job, working at the coffee shop, is harder than, or is not as hard as staying home and being a mom. And she was like, so don't ever say you don't work. You work just as hard as anybody else.
Yeah, that just goes to show that even people who...
If you've done it and you have that perspective, you'll see it. If that's what I mentioned in one of the comments where I clapped back at one of these haters too. I was like, at this point, if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, then you don't. Yeah. Because there's no point in arguing with somebody who's going to be so stuck in that mindset. Yeah. This one says, I'm a stay-at-home mom because why would I just work just to pay daycare? T, girl, because... Dude, that's exactly what we said. And that was another reason why when Billy and I had a conversation about going back to work, with all of the things that we were going to have to work around, you know, the boys' drop off and pick up schedule, any and every little thing in between, I would only be able to work like a part-time job, right? Okay, well, part-time wages aren't going to pay that much. So I literally would be working part-time just to throw it away towards daycare for somebody else to do what I'm fully able to do. This one's kind of long, but it just says, me, some of us can't work or just decide we can't work right now. Why? Because daycare is just as expensive as what I would be getting paid. Exactly what we've been saying. Something along the lines of she doesn't let anyone come at her with why did you get pregnant twice, because she had twins. And she can't do much about it, but she thinks it's better to raise them herself than lose out on watching their growth and what she's going to be paying in daycare anyways. Yeah. So we basically got all around like similar responses. And I think what we can come to terms with is being a stay-at-home mom is not as hard or not as hard. Being a stay-at-home mom is just as hard as working. Basically, let's just say being a stay-at-home mom is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it should be made to look like we're just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not nothing. And like we said at the very beginning, I think that we do deserve credit. Because it's not...
We're not asking to be praised, but we're actually also don't want to be belittled just for not doing the same thing others are doing.
Right.
Or having this, or not having the same goals as someone else. You know, like, we're still...
It's still valid. What we're doing is still valid. What we're doing is still significant. What we're doing, we're still bringing something to the table.
Raising humans is not easy. You're teaching them values. You're feeding them, changing diapers. Which, yes, we signed up for this. You know, some moms didn't sign up for it, and they're still embracing and accepting to do it because they love this little human that they've never met before. It's just...
What I said in one of the comments when I commented back is that why aren't you giving us grace for like literally giving up who we are in our entirety, like giving up everything that we are, all of our being, to take care of literally every single other person around us and put ourselves last. Why is that not something worth like recognizing? Like you said, not being praised for, not being like, oh my gosh, like this is, you know, necessarily better than anything else, but like just getting the credit for doing that, because that alone, being able to do that and like constantly putting yourself last and like we don't ask for much is, I don't know, it's just like if you were going to your regular freaking clocking in at your regular job and you knew that you were exerting yourself and putting so much into the job that you were doing, you would want rewards out of it. You'd want promotions, you'd want raises, you'd want all those things. And like, we give up so much of ourselves and we don't ask for much in return. So like, why is that? I don't know.
And I'm gonna touch on this point. I've actually had a conversation with Alex, and even because I mean I've seen this around a lot on like social media and stuff, but men get to achieve goals at work, promotions, races, level up, and we just stay at home, and that's all we are. A stay-at-home mom. We don't get achievements, we don't get promotions, we don't get higher pay, you know. We do the same routine every single day. We're lucky if we have time to pick up on a hobby, but men are able to chase their dreams and become better at them and master them.
Because we
get to stay home, and they don't have to worry if their kids are fed, if their kids are being taken care of, because they know they are. You know, they know they're the best hands possible.
As long, as hard as they possibly need to, because they
Stay
know
late for work
that we are holding it down at home.
They don't have to pick up their kids from daycare by 5 because that's the time that the daycare closes. I had a job because when we got the car, I was like, I'm gonna work and we're gonna be able to pay for this car, whatever. I would get paid bi-weekly, so every other week. That 1 week that I didn't get paid on a Monday, we were already overdrafted $400. Alex didn't get paid until Thursdays. So by Thursday, we were already overdrafted like $600. He would get paid, we'd have $300 for the fucking weekend. By Friday, he get paid Thursdays. On Friday, we're down to $100.
Because you guys were spending more between both of you guys.
Gas for both
filling
cars.
Filling both vehicles with gas. And
I would work 45 minutes from where I live, and he would work an hour away from where we live. So we tried that.
Both of you.
A lot of us have tried being working moms. A lot of us have tried to contribute, and it's worse than if we were to just stay home.
It's just finding the way that works best for you, because every specific lifestyle and every specific situation, it looks different. And you got to do whatever you got to do for your family, for your children, for your situation.
Yeah.
And it's going to look different to everybody. The only difference between this and what you may be doing is that we are vocalizing it, we're talking about it, we're sharing it and putting it out there. So we're allowing ourselves, just as much as we're allowing ourselves to be received in the positive light, we're also allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to the hate. And it comes with the territory,
because
but it is just important. I think we've tried to look at all different perspectives, we're giving credit to not only expecting the credit for ourselves, but giving the credit to the hardworking men that are out there providing for their families too.
Yeah.
And looking at it in all different lights, you know, like we mentioned, single moms that are working and coming home and taking care of their kids. If you're in a relationship where you both are working and having to come home and take care of the kids, and none of it is easy.
Yeah.
You just have to pick your struggle, basically.
Yeah, and what works best for your family. I know one of the things that you mentioned was everyone has different reasons and backgrounds, you know. Personally, right, I don't know how you feel about this because we've gone through similar situations, but because of my SA as a child, I feel like it's that much more and more important for me to stay home with my kids.
Yeah.
Because I can take care,
level of protection.
Their protection is in my hands, and I can ensure that they're protected 24/7. Mm-hmm. And that is enough for me, and that fulfills me. Mm-hmm. Whether we're struggling financially or not, as long as I know that they have full bellies and that we're doing the best to provide them with what they need and sometimes what they want, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I mentioned we'll go to Target and I might not be able to buy Lulu and June a $20 doll, but we'll still get them a $5 toy, a little $5 makeup kit.
Or a candy.
Anything
or
to make them happy.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're doing our best within our means. And again, just because my lifestyle and goals don't align with yours does not give you the right to shit on them or disrespect them.
That part. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I feel like it might have been all over the place because we were coming in hot and we were heated and we were assertive with what we were going to say. But like I said, we came kind of in defense mode because we were like, we're not going to let you just, I don't know, shit on us without having some context to it, okay?
Like we're going to defend it with receipts and all of the above.
I understand that, like...
And I'm on my period, so I'm even more hated on this shit. My hormones are going wild right now.
Yeah, I understand that, like, everybody is gonna... I don't know. The way you perceive it, the way you look at it is gonna look different for everybody. But for the girlies that get it, you get it.
Look,
so that's what we're here for.
Those 5 haters are worth it as long as 100 of you are feeling validated and seen.
100%.
So we'll take the hate. I don't care. We'll get canceled if we need to by 5 fucking people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
There was the one comment too that we didn't talk about that we deleted because they called us a pendeja.
They're like, bandeja with a P. And I was like, no, bendeja with a P. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, Desi, please delete that shit right now because that is just some dumb little boy talking out of their ass. Another one was like, my girlfriend sent me this video. And I'm 10 seconds in, and I
already know I'm not gonna watch this
because y'all are just yapping for real. And I was like, I replied back, and I was like, that is actually very sad because she felt validated by this video that she felt
like,
safe enough to send it to you.
Yeah.
Only for you to come and comment this and like literally throw that out the window. That
girl, get you a new man.
Please throw the whole man away.
And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I should just comment and be like, I don't expect you to understand because you're a man.
Yeah.
You won't get it. Like,
yeah.
It was on a different video, but
to those men who will never understand and are still willing to be open-minded, I applaud you because it's not easy. I mean, embracing something you've never been through, you know, right. But respecting it and showing up for your partner, whether you're a woman or a man, that is a whole thing. That is a whole
point of
partnership and a union and
and raising a family and just
that's why please be very careful with who you choose to raise a family with, whether that's the woman or the man, because we're all about holding everyone accountable. It's just respecting each other's roles,
right,
in a marriage,
in your marriage,
and how that looks for you.
Exactly. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight and a little bit more context as to why we spoke on what we spoke on. If you didn't watch the last episode and you're coming from TikTok or
not the last one, the one before that.
Yeah, whatever. The controversial one, okay? Maybe this one's a little bit controversial too. I don't know. We'll see. At this point, I feel like everything you say can be controversial.
Like if I don't have any haters,
take my words and spin it. Whatever. I know what the fuck I'm saying.
If I don't have any haters, I'm not doing something right. I better have some after this.
Hopefully you just got something out of this, okay? And it was a little tea time, a little let's address this because it needed to be addressed. We were very passionate about this one. So Thank you for tuning in.
And if you
another
weren't
week.
if you weren't clear about a point of view, now you are.
Yeah.
And where we stand, well, now you are. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the clickbaity title, but look, we gotta get you to listen to this somehow because it's important. So
the message needs to be heard. So yeah, that's it for this episode, and we'll catch you next week.
bye.
Bye.